For 18 years and 3 generations, we've designed Xbox consoles to power your dreams.
Basically, the detail level on PS5 is significantly higher than on both Xbox systems.
We see a future where you're instantly absorbed in your games, where worlds are even more lifelike, immersive, responsive, and surprising.
Well, in this mode on Series S, namely things like grass and various other trackside detail are pulled in a little bit on this system compared to Series X and PS5.
We'll set a new bar for performance, speed, compatibility.
The road tessellation, or the detail on the road, that's completely gone. So all the little pebbles and geometric detail, that's missing.
Our fastest, most powerful Xbox.
The grass is pared way back. There's also a reduction in overall geometry in the environment. And of course, texture filtering is much lower quality.
Next holiday, Xbox Series X will lead us into the future of console gaming.
Basically, it looks like the PS5 version is just using the same detail settings from resolution mode, whereas the Xbox systems are using a mode where the car LODs take a significant hit, like during the introduction scene. Even if you're just on a time trial with one car, you can see here, it's missing a lot of detail on the car.
Next holiday, Xbox Series X will lead us into the future of console gaming.
Why is Phil lying? Why is Phil lying? 'Cause Xbox is dying and he's at home crying. But seriously, those were a lot of lies. Let's get into it.
Real, you keep it real. You keep it real, you keep it real. You keep it so real, you give it so good. Like I know.
What's good, YouTube? It's your host Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. And it definitely seems like this generation is off to a very interesting start, as the console that was supposed to power our dreams definitely seems like it is powering Microsoft's nightmares at this moment.
Damn it! Damn it!
Now, as we all know, the Xbox Series X is supposed to be the world's most powerful console on paper, with a ton of features that the PlayStation 5 just doesn't have. But recently, we've had tons of videos coming out from Eurogamer's Digital Foundry to compare multi-platform and cross-platform games. And for some reason, the PlayStation 5 keeps coming out on top. And today, with their comparison of Dirt 5, it is no different. And upon further inspection of both consoles, not only does the PlayStation 5 match the Xbox Series X in terms of frame rate, it actually keeps it more stable in certain situations. And more surprisingly, it has higher graphical detail, more geometry and graphical fidelity on stage, better lighting, more actual stuff in the stages, more complex scenery, and just better shadows. It's just more of everything as regards graphical presentation. And for a machine that's not screaming out praises of its graphical fidelity from the top of the roofs like Microsoft on the Xbox X, it is pretty surprising and embarrassing, if we just be honest. Now, one of the things that was said about the PlayStation 5 before launch is that a ton of the developers in the community were praising it for its ease of use and the way it's been designed pretty ingeniously. And Mark Cerny himself did come out and say not to think of teraflops as an overall measure of graphical power and computing. And even though people expect things to change once developers get their heads around the Xbox Series X, it's pretty much disappointing. When you think about the raw power advantage that the Xbox Series X should have over the PlayStation 5, it's just really not making any sense why these things are happening. And you can understand if they were happening with next-gen games, or should I say current-gen games. I'm still a little bit confused about that, actually. But it's not like they're happening with, current gen games. They're happening with last gen games. These are happening with games which you can also get on prior consoles as well. Cross generation platform games. So there's no reason why the Xbox Series X shouldn't just be beasting like Wolverine on his first day out of the training danger room. You know, there's just no reason for that. So this is a bad look. This is a very bad look for the Xbox. I'm not gonna lie. Even though, you know, it could be a bug or whatever, Digital Foundry did try and make the fanboys feel better and say it could be a bug, but it's just not something which is flattering for Microsoft at all. At all. So that's all I can pretty much say about it. Let's look at what, you know, the people in the Digital Foundry's comment section have to say. Now, already we see the hypocrisy of Microsoft's advertising and the fanboys being called out. Woof! These differences are way bigger than what we saw between OG PS4 and Xbox One. Whew. And yet they're talking about the Xbox fanboys crying, which is probably true. We will let the games do the talking. Jim Ryan. That's a very good quote. We have to live by that. Woof! Now this guy, he just really broke it down. He broke it down for everybody. It feels very comfortable. Now this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one because it's true. Yep. This is another one of my favorites because they are trying to comfort these Xbox. Microsoft, we have 12 teraflops. Sony, we got Mark Cerny, which is the truth. They do have Mark Cerny. PS5 had almost lost 60 threat with more detail. What the hell? It's true. It is true. And it's true. They do need to give the engineers at Sony kudos. But oof. It's brutal. It's brutal. Oh my gosh. Brutal. Brutal. Now, all fanboy jokes and rhetoric aside, this is a very interesting turn of events because it's been something that has been very consistent between both consoles and the comparisons. So a lot of people are expecting things to turn around. And again, looking at the stats, it does seem like that could be an eventuality. But we also know that the PlayStation 5 has been optimized for straight up gameplay, and right now the results are definitely proving that, not only with these tests and comparisons, but with the great launch software that we have and the great software that we know is around the corner. So it would be really cool to see Microsoft do something about this and pull a rabbit out of the hat and see if they can equalize to try and change the narrative. Because right now, the PlayStation 5 is looking set to be the console king with a Switch as a lovely deputy in the courtyard. Hey, what's going on, Switch? How you going doing over there? I'm doing cool. PlayStation 5, how you doing there? And Xbox Series X, whatever it's called, is looking more and more like Krillin every day. This Xbox One is just Xbox One is Krillin, Xbox Series X is Krillin. What is going on with the Krillin vibes, with the weakness? But again, all silly jokes aside, if you guys know anything about why this could be happening that doesn't sound like an excuse, please drop it in the comments. I'm sure most of the industry would be happy to hear what is going on. But apart from that, I hope everybody is enjoying next gen, whether you've got an Xbox Series S, X, or a PlayStation 5. You know, whichever one you've got, make sure it's making you happy and you're playing some great games. Now, I'd just like to give a shout out to everyone that's been watching the channel. I haven't been making that much content lately, so it is really good for, you know, just to see the support and all the likes and just all the views and everything. I really appreciate that. Thanks out to big supporters like Larry Caldwell, BitCloud Gaming, everyone who commented on the last video. I really appreciate that. So there'll be more stuff coming. If you have any ideas or any stuff, you know, leave them in the comments. Like a cool thumbs up. And yes, I will talk to you guys later. GG's. Sayonara.